Tonight, News Channel 5 Investigates reveals the intense pressures facing air traffic controllers who are working hard to keep us safe out at Nashville International Airport. Good evening, I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. That comes as our Investigates team uncovers a close call just last week. In this case, a Delta Airlines jet was forced to slam on the brakes during takeoff to avoid a collision with a small plane that had pulled into its path. Listen to what happened when controllers realized what was happening.
2624, cancel takeoff clear. Opposition. All right, we are canceling takeoff. And 2724, just not sure that small aircraft there was supposed to make a right turn on Keel, or he made a left there. It's been an eventful morning. I appreciate the stop there. Way to be aware. Thank you.
Yeah, a frightening situation there uncovered by News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams. Coincidentally, Phil, you were already looking into safety at our airport.
That's right. In recent weeks, our Investigates team has sat down with veteran air traffic controllers to get their perspective. What we heard is the human cost of an ATC system that everybody knows has been broken for years. A broken system that, as you're about to see, may have already put lives here in Nashville at risk.
56 and Nashville Tower, 10 left. 1,900 for 4,000.
Alaska 369, Nashville Tower, runway 13, line up away, traffic landing, runway 20 left.
September 12, 2024, a typical morning at Nashville International as air traffic controllers orchestrate the movements of a busy airport. That day, a Southwest Airlines flight with 141 people taxis into position, ready to begin its trip to Jacksonville.
Turn right, heading 260, runway 13, clear for takeoff.
As an air traffic controller clears an Alaska Airlines flight to take off for Seattle, moments later, the jet with 176 people on board barrels down the runway, unaware that another controller has cleared the Southwest flight to cross into its path. Then all of a sudden,
Alaska,
the Alaska Air slams on its brakes.
Alaska 369, cancel takeoff clearance.
I think it would be probably quite alarming to people if they knew exactly, how close that was. It was very close.
Did they already get the tail number for that Southwest?
I don't know. They don't want to talk about it.
This never-before-seen video shows emergency responders expressing frustration that no one from air traffic control wanted to explain what had happened, forcing the evacuation of passengers from the disabled Alaska Airlines Boeing 737. All four of its landing gear tires had deflated after the emergency stop.
Are you the pilot? Yeah. Would you mind filling out a written statement for me? It's up to you. I mean, it's voluntary.
Not right now, but maybe when this thing's...
All right. Are you good?
While the investigation is continuing, Alaska Airlines says its pilots' quick thinking may have saved the day.
Scared some people? Absolutely. Way better than the worst case scenario to what happened. And in this case, the safety layer was the pilots of the Alaska flight. They saw something they did not like happening, they stopped.
The video shows passengers expressing appreciation for the flight crew's skillful response on a day when everything else seemingly went wrong.
Nashville's a prime example of where many safety layers can fail in the Alaska incident. Many safety layers can fail, but you can still not have a negative outcome.
Woody Hatchett worked in air traffic control for 12 years.
Controllers are extremely good at what they do. The procedures largely in place, they work.
Shelley Weckler for 10. Both want you to know that flying is still incredibly safe. But as a result of a years-long shortage of air traffic controllers, the warning lights are flashing.
And I think just about every controller that you talk to will tell you, yeah, we're short-staffed, we're working 6 days a week, we're tired.
Is the system near a breaking point?
I believe that it is, yeah.
It turns out the close call involving the Alaska Airlines wasn't an isolated incident at Nashville International. According to an anonymous safety report filed back in March, an air traffic controller reported having potentially put two passenger jets on course for a mid-air collision. Among the factors cited, fatigue and workload. The controller wrote, "I recommend more staffing at the facility to open more positions, reduce fatigue, and distribute workload. 6-day work weeks for consecutive years take their toll on the human body, and fatigue can set in without the individuals even recognizing it."
People are stressed out. They're tired. Imagine working 6 days a week, sometimes 8 to 10 hours a day, and working a very stressful job.
6 days a week, week after week
Yes.
after week.
Correct. Week after week after week.
Are you ready to go? We're ready, American.
We work every day, weekends, holidays. It doesn't matter. We're there.
These people they're still dads. They're still, husbands. And they have to take care of those duties too. But when, you're thinking, oh, I got to go in for my 6th day tomorrow, you don't really have a lot of time to empty the tank.
It sounds like it's a prescription for burnout.
Yeah, burnout's a good word to use. You just don't look. You take a really fun job and you just make it where you don't look forward to going to work anymore.
Air traffic controllers do have the option of calling in sick if they feel they are too fatigued to safely do their jobs, which is something that for some may not come easily.
With controllers, our mindset is a can-do attitude. We always want to do everything we can the best we can. And sometimes it's difficult, truly difficult to identify when you're not at your peak.
Are there ramifications if you call in too often and say, "I'm really tired"?
Yes, there are. Management looks at, all of that. They want to make sure that you're not abusing that, which is understandable. But at the same time, when you're working 6 days a week,
You're going to be tired.
You're going to be tired.
For the nation, the wake-up call about this critical issue came back in January when an Army helicopter crashed into an American Airlines regional jet near Washington, D.C., killing all 67 people aboard. But the warning signs were there long before. A 2023 study warned that controller understaffing places additional strain on the system, further eroding the margin of safety and increasing risk. The most recent FAA data shows a need for 48 controllers at the Nashville Tower, but just 31 fully trained people for those jobs.
The airport's busier than it has ever been. Yet you're talking about a number of air traffic controllers that's as low as it's ever been.
Woody Hatchett says controllers have watched politicians ignore what everyone knew was a problem that was only going to get worse. Now, following the mid-air collision in Washington and other recent close calls, the Trump administration is finally planning to inject billions of dollars into improving the air traffic control system. But that, too, will take time.
Attention passengers.
You can't just take somebody off the street and put them in a chair and say, hey, be an air traffic controller.
It takes years.
Yeah, I mean, to be really good and really proficient, it takes decades.
If we ramped up hiring and hired even more, we're still looking at 5 to 10 years down the road.
5 to 10 years.
Correct, yes.
So this is not going to be a problem solved in the next year?
No, absolutely not.
Switch departure, have a good one.
And the other big issue for air traffic controllers is the outdated equipment. Some of the video you saw from inside the Nashville Tower was shot more than 15 years ago. That was the last time we were allowed inside. But sadly, these former controllers say not much has changed in those 15 years.
This is really eye-opening. I can't imagine working 6 days a week for years on end. It's just crazy. Now, it really took a while to get these veteran controllers to speak to you on camera. What do they hope to accomplish?
Well, number one, they want people to understand and also to push for change. As much as anyone, air traffic controllers want to get travelers to their destinations safely, and sometimes that means they have to slow down air traffic, which can cause delays, which no one likes. But it's all about managing their limited resources. More than that, they also hope that people will hold politicians' feet to the fire and insist they do whatever it takes to fix the system, and that sometimes means spending more taxpayer money to solve these critical problems.
5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years.
All right, Phil, thanks. I know you're going to stay on top of this issue for us.